Hi everyone, for today's video, I will be answering 4 questions I received from the comment section of my YouTube video. The third question is about having a weak striking force. Should I strengthen the striking force? Or, to some extent, is the impact of stepping in itself enough? This is the third question. Also, I will be explaining how we can make a powerful strike. For the fourth and final question is about how to position ourselves. The other day, I tweeted about assuming a kame that is centered naturally. I want to discuss about that tweet, whether that kame should appear on the left from your point of view, or whether the left fist should be a little to the left. Next is the third question. My question, or rather, my doubt, is, I am often told that my men uchi is weak, but with the sound of stepping in, I can strike with impact. But would a stronger strike still be better? So, I got this question. The conclusion is that we should also make sure to strengthen our striking power. You are able to strike with impact, using the sound of stepping in. This is the good part. While keeping this good part, gradually improve the bad part, where your striking power is weak. You will need this to grow yourself. This also applies to me as well. It is difficult to change a lot of things all at once. For example, when you are told to strike hard, you may feel tense in your shoulder. Or when you're asked to become louder, you may neglect your ashi sabaki. Of course, I know some people can do it, but I cannot do it, because I am clumsy.
Ashi sabaki. Footwork for delivering a strike or evading an attack.
So, instead of changing it all at once, we have to be conscious of each and every one of the bad parts. It is important to make changes, even little by little. Maintaining the current status quo is not a good idea. I too had a weak striking force, so I set my own goal by making a month of strengthening the striking force, and I've changed the saburi practice, which I used to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, to tire striking practice.
Saburi. A swinging practice of the shinai or bokudo against an imaginary opponent. Saburi can be used as a warming up and cooling down exercise.
If it's just a saburi without a target to hit, I can't actually strike it. So by actually hitting the tire, I could strengthen my striking force. I practice so that I strike them so hard to the point that they might hurt. My opponents might hurt from my strikes. Just like this, it is important to practice with such things in mind. At first, you have to be conscious of striking hard, to actually strike hard. But eventually, you will be able to strike hard without actually thinking about it. And you have to strengthen your strike force up to that point. However, I don't think that is the only point that needs to be improved. Strengthening only your striking force does not mean you can become the best athlete. Physical stamina, core, and other parts of the body need to be strengthened as well. You should strive to practice on the points that the sensei has pointed out. Other parts should be trained as well. Once you've corrected one thing, you'll start to notice other things to improve. So those things should be worked on. It is a good idea to practice, and gradually improving the overall balance. There are many possible reasons for a weak striking force. Maybe you have weak muscles, and your swing is too slow. In some cases, the striking force is light, and in other cases, the player has muscle strength, and swings fast but cannot place the center of gravity on the tip of the sword. Therefore, you must research how to make a strong strike, based on your current situation. I explained earlier that we could jump with 100% of your force. And the same goes for this. If the hand is fully extended forward, the center of gravity is in front, and the lower body remains in place. It is impossible to strike hard. So, you have to shift the center of gravity with 80% of your power, and place the center of gravity firmly on the tip of the sword. If you become aware of such things, you may be able to make a strong strike. Even if you do a lot of saburi recklessly, it may build muscle strength, but it does not mean that you can actually perform a powerful strike. I think it is a good idea to learn how to practice in these areas, to make sure you are doing what is suitable for you.
Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a cool Kendoka. Lifelong journey to master Kendo.
Lastly, for the fourth question, I got this question on Twitter. Does the one who takes the center win? Does the one who does not take the center always lose? In response to that, I tweeted that in junior high and high school, I learned the position that naturally takes center. How do we get into a position where we can naturally center ourselves? Can you see that? If you put your hands together and hold them slightly displaced, you are already off center? Let me explain using shinai. First, put your hands together. When you shift it vertically, the right hand side is the end of the shinai. Do you see how the left hand is more to the left of the shinai? Like this. When we shift our hands vertically, so straighten your hand in the first place. I learned in junior high school that straightening the shinai is difficult due to the structure of our body. And then I went to high school and Hoshiko and I researched how the opponent cannot strike you if you strike on the left side. From your point of view, even if the men came during I-men.
Hoshiko, a classmate and rival of Kajitani's from his Kyushu Gakuin days. Winner of the All Japan Championship 2021. I-men. I-men is a technique that aims to strike first by striking men from both sides at the same time.
There was an episode like that. After winning the All Japan Championships 2021, when I spoke with Hoshiko, he told me that during I-men with Hayashida in the All Japan final, Hoshiko went out on the left side as usual, but he was struck by Hayashida on the left side from his point of view.
Hayashida Shohei, a high school teacher from Fukui Prefecture. He was in second place at the All Japan Championships 2021.
As a result, Hoshiko got men. Since he is out to the left of the center, it is more than the center. So people think it is better to take the center. However, that was a men uchi after Hoshiko took a step in. Or in other words, it was almost at the same time as he positioned and entered a men uchi. Furthermore, note that the men from Hayashida was touched. Hayashida held back and stuck a men with a thud. If Hoshiko was out on the left side, yet he was able to touch Hoshiko's men. How can we explain this? From Hayashida's point of view, we need to turn it to the right side to strike. Naturally, there should be a shinai of Hoshiko here. The fact that you have to scramble through this to hit Hoshiko's men. I mean, how is this possible? I am curious about it. I would like to have the opportunity to hear about this from Hayashida, and I want to put it into practice. This introduction has become quite long. So let's move on. In response to this Twitter conversation, what's the best way to strike that can take the center naturally? It is often said that the left fist should be placed to the left of center. Does this mean we place it to the left when in kame? Or do you mean placing it on the left when striking and thrusting men? So this is the question that I got. The answer to this is when we are in kame. From the moment we are in kame, put it a little to the left. Place it just a little to the left of the center. If we put it too far to the left, it would not be proper. So just place it slightly left of center. For the second question, does on the left mean the left side from my point of view? For this one, yes, as you said, it is the left side from our points of views. By doing so, we can aim at the opponent's left side. From the opponent's point of view, imagine being targeted at the right side. Originally, from the opponent's point of view, this side is being targeted, since they are going after my right side. So when you try to strike, you get struck on the right side of your men instead of taking the center. This is why the shinai opened up more and more, which makes us lose on the I-men. Then the opponent will aim at the left side, leaving the kote free. It's going to be open. But Hoshiko is good at this, and he would not let the opponent strike the kote. And his timing is very good. Study is necessary to prevent the opponent from striking the kote. Just swinging and going largely to the left might make the kote captured by the opponent in some cases. So please be aware about it. As I said earlier, while striking to the left, coming from further to the left, like this kind of striking, I guess, I am not sure about it. But when you reach All Japan Championship level, there will be a lot of parts that are hard to understand. To promote Kendo more, I would like to improve my research skills and share them with all of you. For today's video, I answered some questions based on comments I received on Twitter and YouTube. I based my answers on my experiences and views. As I told you at the beginning, please note that you should not base your entire understanding on my views. I made this video to share my views and let people know that there is such a way of thinking. Please look forward to my next video. Thank you so much for watching until the end.